A woman's right to choose is under attack this year, and we see it in Texas, we see it in Kentucky, we see it in Ohio, we see it in Virginia, we see it in Pennsylvania, we see it in Texas, and we definitely see it here in Florida. When 2022's midterm elections occurred, it was prior to the Dobbs decision. Since the Dobbs decision, Democratic special elections and off year elections, the Democrats are overperforming. And I really am under the impression, and I could be wrong because, I'm not looking at raw data any more than anyone else on this application is, unless they're a pollster. I'm assuming that a lot of people who are Republican are voting for women's rights because it's the only thing that makes sense. It won by 10 points in Ohio. In Virginia, both houses are now Democratic because Glenn Youngkin wanted to put in a 6-week abortion ban. So what they were planning on doing as the GOP in that state is no longer there. And I don't know how it works in Old Dominion, because that's what they call Virginia, on whether or not, if they pass something and the governor vetoes it, if they can pass it again, it becomes law. Every state's different with that. It's one of the things to find out. Kentucky got a Democratic governor again to block what was being done. And we see in Tennessee still the Tennessee 3, that was last year. It doesn't seem that long ago because it was February or March of last year. And this is the year where those people are going to reap the rewards for their bigotry. Texas. Women's health care in Texas is becoming insane. Abbott and his Attorney General, Ken Paxton, the threats against Kay Cox and her child that was not viable were unconscionable. He also tried to get information about Texans who had left the state and had gone to Seattle to get trans surgeries. He wanted the information. That's the result of the Dobbs decision. He's asking for this stuff, and no one's saying no. And they now have a law written where they can stop people who are pregnant to see if they're going for an abortion clinic, which means you're going to have pregnant women locked up. Because if they determine that you are, they're going to lock you up. And then where are your rights? Your rights are being superseded by a child inside of you that's not a child yet. It's anywhere from a zygote to a fetus. It's not a child. And especially if you look at Christianity. The founding of Christianity is Judaism, and according to Judaism, a child is not a child until it leaves the womb and goes through the vaginal canal and comes out. So, considering Christianity is taken from that religion, we should probably listen to the Jews about that. But they're not. Ken Paxton is endangering women. People that are brown are going to be pulled over because of racism. People that are immigrants are also going to be pulled over, and we're going to have more people born in horrible places because of this. And this goes back to terrible GOP policy. The GOP has had every opportunity to fix the issue with the southern border, and the Congress won't write any laws for that. They are not writing anything that will be passed by the Senate and signed by the president. If you don't compromise, which is the name of the game, that's what's going to happen. Anyway, when we look at things like abortion is a complicated issue, and at the same time, it's not a complicated issue at all. Last time I checked, the people who are writing legislation, I would say over 99% of them are not doctors. I'd say over 99.9% of them are not doctors. And you know this because you hear them ask questions that have so far off of the beaten path from reality. If I swallow this, can you see the inside of the uterus? No, because the digestive tract is not anywhere near the uterus. Those two systems don't connect. We live in a society where men can impregnate as many women as possible and there's no consequences. But if the women get pregnant, there are consequences for them. 97% of abortions happen in the first trimester. And at the same time, the GOP is attacking mifepristone, which is a pill to have an abortion at home. And the term for miscarriage is abortion, but the right doesn't like it. Too fucking bad for the right. And so, if 97% of the abortions take place in the first 20 weeks, leave alone what is being used to take care of it. Because the problem is, it's not as though the GOP is providing, lavish lifestyles for these women who are having children they don't want to have. And by women, I'm stretching the definition because we've had 9, 10, 11, and 12-year-olds give birth in Republican states. So you're telling me that it's rape because it's any one of those children can't give consent. Are the rapists, serving the next however long the child is stuck with having a child they didn't want? And this is what we're dealing with. And you can make the argument biblically, I don't care. Last time I checked, 1946 was the last time there was a major rewrite and the word homosexuality was added to the Bible. The Roman Catholic Church had complete control of the Bible from the inception of Christianity until the 1600s. And your King James Bible has been written from that. How many times was the Bible changed? I can't count, and neither can you. We don't actually know. And that is not a basis for women's health care. I'm really hopeful that more women will vote. I'm hopeful that Taylor Swift will talk about this as well. Because it's not abortion for birth control. It's abortion because you have a child that you can't have because a child was going to die, and you're being denied that, which is completely cruel. It's obscene. Men are not treated this way, only women, and it's because the GOP hates women. Don't tell me any differently. It's not pro-choice, it's anti-abortion. There's a significant difference. And the ability to have birth control and the ability to end a pregnancy gives a woman a lot more control over her body, and the GOP doesn't like that. Please remember to vote true and vote blue. The lives of the women in your life depend on it, because the GOP doesn't care if they die. At all. It's repugnant.